All right, on today, I have a 97 Ford and the air conditioner was barely blowing. You could get hardly nothing, but the blower motor was wide open. You could just hear it blowing like it was just blowing like a tornado. So I watched a ton of videos. Everybody says, oh, it's the evaporator core. So in order to get the evaporator core the right way, you'd have to pull the whole dash out, pull this cover off, and get up in there. A lot of people says they cut holes down in the bottom, everywhere. So I tried a little bit of all that, and my easiest solution to this, being lazy, was there's this piece of plastic that goes right up in here. All right, as you can see, I just trimmed right around the sides and got all that off there with a Dremel. And then that allows you to get access. I have this piece of foam in there temporary. I'm gonna make a plug to cover that all back up so I get true airflow again, 100%. So that allows you to blow back this way. On the other side, the other side of this is the draw side. So that's where all the dirt and everything gets and plugs these fins up, and it barely lets any air flow through. So what I did was, and there's a drain in this, so it'll drain the water out. You don't have to really worry about it getting on the floor or anything. In my case, I'd followed one of the other videos, and the guy said, oh, there's a port down here. This is where a cabin air filter would go. Let me get it. Cabin air filter would go up in this slot. And I trimmed that out. Well, when you trim that out, then the water is allowed to flow. What happens is you reverse flush this with water, like a garden hose. I did like it on Jetstream or Center, so it blew out pretty good. And the water goes down in there. It's a little dark, it's hard to see. But this is like a whole little bucket. And it goes out, and there's a tube that drains out right under the truck. So I sprayed coil cleaner in there, just regular air conditioner coil cleaner. I blew it all in there. I had a little air compressor with a little nozzle, and I blew it so it would go back into the fins real easy. Let it sit for about 20 minutes. I come back out, and then I flushed it real good. Since I trimmed that out down there, I had to have a bucket, like a little pan, bed pan or something. I put it there, and then all the water, you can actually see there's a little bit of water up under there still on the foam. Right there. All that water, a lot of it comes out the bottom in the drain, and then some comes out this. When you're flushing that, I did it probably 4 or 5 times, and really a lot of stuff came out. Just stay caution when you're flushing. You can put water into this a lot faster than it can drain it. It drains pretty quick, but you've got a vent right down in there, and you don't want it to flow through the system, through the truck's vents, and get everywhere else. So just take your time flushing that, blast it a couple places real good. You don't really have to worry about bending the fins. They're soft, but a garden hose won't really, I don't think, bend them. But just be careful. Try a couple little spots, because if you bend them, you're screwed. That'll restrict the airflow. But I just cut this little access hole. And since there's no cabin air filter, I can get right back in there later on if need be. All I have to do is pull these 3 little 7mm bolts out that holds the glove box. The glove box goes on there. This spring flips forward, and then the bolts go through the back side into here. And then there's 2 little tabs. These little tabs, just move them to the side, and that allows you to get the glove box out. And now I'll just turn this on. plug that hole up a little bit. Of course, I don't have that bottom hole plugged, but the amount of airflow, if I can plug that real quick. Should have showed this first. Well, anyway, when that's plugged down there where the cabin filter would go, if it had one, when that's plugged and this is plugged, you can put a napkin up here for reference of airflow, and it just flaps. Like it really cools the truck down now. Before, it was just a very soft amount of air coming out, but that really makes a difference. So if you're having this problem, before you try pulling the whole dash and everything, if this way is for you, and if you plan on keeping the truck, I would recommend probably trimming that out a little bit nicer than I did, and then just having you an access hole, since it doesn't have a filter. Blow it out every once in a while and you're good to go. Also take note, the heater core is back in here, over on the far side there. So, all right, well, I hope this helps solve some of the issue. Of course, like I said, if your blower is blowing really hard, that's definitely going to be the issue, is that evaporator core there is completely plugged on the other sides. Really stupid how they did that, but it is what it is. So, all right, hope this helps. And this is for a 97 Ford. I think it works all the way up to 2003, I believe. This is Ford F-150.